What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Sacred Cards. Today I'm coming at you with an update to my Legendary Fisherman Kairyu-shin Control deck profile. As some of you know, Mako Tsunami was my favorite character in the anime, and a lot of these cards are just very nostalgic. It's a solid mix of Legendary Fisherman and Kairyu-shin Control. I've been trying to combine the two and make more of a hybrid. You could argue that the deck does better without some of these monsters, but I wanted to make this deck as fun and competitive as possible. I've been doing a boatload of testing with this deck and trying to perfect the ratios. I'm very happy with how the deck performs. And with all that said, I'll go through the deck list and try and explain the cards as best I can. Let's get right on into it here. Starting off, I play 3 copies of Ocean Dragon Lord Kairyu-shin. This is the retrain of Mako's very first boss monster. It's the heart and soul of the deck. While Umi is on the field, each player can only control one non-water monster, which isn't a problem for us because every monster we play is water. During your main phase, you can either add a copy of Umi, Kairyu-shin Spell Trap, or Sea Stealth Spell Trap from your deck to your hand. Following that, we have 3 copies of the original Legendary Fisherman. While Umi is on the field, this card is unaffected by spell effects and can't be targeted for attacks, but does not prevent your opponent from attacking directly. Classic card, absolutely love it. Then we have 3 copies of Legendary Fisherman 2. This card's name becomes Legendary Fisherman on the field or graveyard. While Umi is on the field, this card is unaffected by monster effects. Plus, if it's destroyed by battle or card effect, you can add a level 7 water monster from your deck to your hand. And finally, triple copies of Legendary Fisherman 3. This card must be special summoned by attributing either Legendary Fisherman 1 or 2. When it is special summoned, you can banish all monsters your opponent controls. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and it's unaffected by spell trap effects. Plus, once per turn, you can return all your opponent's banished cards back to the graveyard. Then the first battle or effect damage they take is doubled. Another great card for the deck is 3 copies of Electric Jellyfish. This is another one of those retrains. You can send a copy of Umi from your hand, deck, or field to the graveyard. Special summon a water monster from your hand. If Umi is on the field and your opponent activates a monster effect or spell card, you can negate that effect, and this card gains 600 attack and defense. I then play 2 copies of Warrior of Atlantis. You can discard this card to add a Legendary Ocean to your hand. If not, it's got a beefy 1900 attack, so it doesn't hurt to normal summon either. Just another way to see your field spell. And another Mako Tsunami retrain is 1 copy of Mega Fortress Whale. This card has many effects and does a lot for the deck, one being that if Umi is on the field, water monsters can attack directly this turn. During your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it. Also, if this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can either add to your hand or special summon 1 water warrior monster from your deck or graveyard. Finally, the last monster is 1 copy of the original Kairyu-shin. This normal monster fits the theme of this deck perfectly. I really like the utility of it being a level 5. It's a free summon from the deck, and thanks to some spell support. If you want, you can play like Terror King Salmon. I just really wanted to play this card. Now that's it for the monster lineup. Now moving on to the spells. For consistency and draw power, 3 copies of Pot of Prosperity. This card always ensures you have the pieces you need to control the board, whether you need a copy of Umi, Kairyu-shin, or Sea Stealth card. This card can help you dig through your deck to get you to what you need and more. Prosperity lets you banish up to 6 cards in the extra deck to excavate 6 cards deep into the deck. Now for the engine cards, I play 3 copies of Fish Sonar. This card lets you add a level 7 or lower monster from your deck to your hand that mentions Umi or is a water normal monster. If Umi is on the field, you can special summon a normal water monster from the deck. Next up is 3 copies of Legendary Ocean. This field spell's name is always treated as Umi. It gives your water monsters a 200-point attack and defense boost and reduces the levels of all water monsters in the hand and on the field by 1. Very important card that lets you normal summon your level 5 monsters. And another form of Umi is 1 copy of Sea Stealth 2. This card's name becomes Umi while on the field or in the graveyard. This continuous spell makes it so your opponent cannot target your water monsters with non-water monster effects. At the start of the battle phase, you can special summon a normal water monster or monster that mentions Umi from your hand or graveyard in defense position, but destroy it at the end of the battle phase, giving you extra protection and good to reborn your copy of Mega Fortress Whale to destroy an opponent's monster. Now, a new tech card I've been testing is 1 copy of Aquarium Stage. This card is unreal. It provides protection for your water monsters, as when it is on the field, your monsters can't be destroyed by battle with a non-water monster effect. By a non-water monster. Plus, if it leaves the field, you can special summon an aqua monster from your graveyard. I then play 1 copy of this beautiful collector rare Armored Xyz. This card is here to facilitate the Armored Xyz package we play in the extra deck. You can target a monster you control and 1 Xyz monster in your graveyard. Equip that monster to that card and it gains the following effects. The equipped monster's attack becomes this card's attack. It gains the attribute. And if the equipped monster attacked, you can send this card to the graveyard and that monster can make a second attack. And another searcher I play is 1 copy of Foolish Burial Goods. Foolish Goods is another way to see your copies of Kairyu-shin, Legendary Fisherman, or Fortress Whale. You can send your copy of Ice Barrier to get the graveyard search, or alternatively, you can send a copy of Umi, which you can then recover with Sea Stealth Attack. And rounding off the spells is 1 copy of Terraforming. This here is another copy of Legendary Ocean, as it's such a key part of the deck and you want to have multiple ways to gain access to it. Next up is the traps, starting off with 2 copies of Sea Stealth Attack. I think 2 copies is a perfect ratio for this deck. It's a continuous trap that when activated, you can activate Umi from your hand or graveyard. When Umi is on the field, it gains the effects that once per turn, you can banish a water monster to protect your spells and traps from being destroyed, even if this card leaves the field. And at the start of the damage step, if your water monster whose original level is 5 or higher battles an opponent's monster, destroy that monster. I play 1 copy of Kairyu-shin's Dark Reef. This just might be my favorite card in the deck. This card lets you send a copy of Umi to the graveyard to special summon 2 monsters with different names from your hand or deck that mention Umi or water normal monsters. Then if your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon any number of level 6 or lower water normal monsters from your hand or deck. The idea is that you set up with this card and Sea Stealth Attack face down, activate this card as Chainlink 1, send Umi for cost, then activate Sea Stealth as Chainlink 2 to immediately recover Umi from the graveyard so it is on the field when this card resolves. Next, I play 3 copies of Ice Barrier. I think this card is extremely powerful and underrated. Its first effect is not once per turn. When your opponent declares an attack, you can change that monster's attack to 0, negate its effects, and lock its battle position. You can banish this card from the graveyard to send a level 5 or higher water monster from your deck to the graveyard, then recycle a water monster back to your hand, even the card you just sent from the deck. Now, the last card I play in the main deck is a single copy of Full Armored Xyz. I really enjoy playing this extra deck package. This trap is searchable with your copy of Xyz Armor Fortress. It has the ability to allow you to Xyz summon using monsters you control. Then you can banish this card from the graveyard to equip an Xyz card from your field or from your field or graveyard and gains the effects that the equipped monster gains attack equal to that monster, and if it were to be destroyed by battle or card effect, destroy this card instead. Well, that's it for the main deck. It is 40 cards. Now moving on to the extra deck, starting with a copy of Full Armor Dark Knight Lancer. You can XC summon this card with a rank 5 or 6. It gains 300 attack for each material and equip card it has. Once per turn, you can target an XC's card in the graveyard, add it to your hand, but the best effect is that if a card becomes equipped to a monster you control, you can attach an opponent's monster to this card as material. Very powerful effect. Next is a copy of Full Armored Crystal Zero Lancer. Absolutely love this Duelist Saga rarity. You can XC summon it with rank 5 water monster. It gains 500 attack for each material it has. If it were to be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can simply detach a material instead. But the effect that I really like is you can detach a material to negate all monster effects on your opponent's field. Next is a single copy of XC's Armored Fortress and one copy of XC's Armored Torpedo. Fortress, you can XC summon this card with any rank 3 or any level 3 or 4 monster. Detach a material to search your full armored XC's trap card and armored XC's. If a monster equipped with this card battles, then any battle damage it inflicts is doubled. Armored Torpedo, you can detach 2 materials, draw a card, and if it is equipped to a monster and that card battles, your opponent can't activate cards or effects and negate the effects of all monsters your opponent controls. If this equipped card is an XC's monster, then your opponent can't target it with card effects. Next is a copy of Bahamut Shark and his best buddy, Totally Awesome. You can detach a material from this card to special summon a rank 3 or lower monster from the extra deck, being our copy of Totally Awesome. When your opponent activates a spell, trap, or monster effect, send this card to the graveyard to negate and destroy it. You then have the option to steal that card and set it to your field. Plus, if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add back to your hand a water monster from the graveyard. We then have a copy of number 101, Silent Honor Arc, and one copy of Silent Honor Dark. Honor Arc can detach 2 materials and target a special summon monster your opponent controls and attach it to this card as material. If this card were to be destroyed, you can detach a material instead. Following that up, Silent Honor Dark can target a special summon monster your opponent controls and attach it to this card as material. If this card is destroyed while it has material, you can special summon it, then gain life points equal to its original attack, but Silent Honor Arc needs to be in the graveyard to resolve this effect. Next is one copy of Nash Knight and one copy of CXE's Nash Knight. Nash Knight can't be destroyed by a battle if a number monster is on the field. Also, quick effect, detach 2 materials, attach a number XC's monster from the extra deck that has a number between 101 and 107. Then you can attach another face-up monster on the field as material. CXC's Knight can be XC summoned using Nash Knight, can't be destroyed by card effects. You can detach a material to special summon a number monster between 101 and 107 from the extra deck, using this card as material, but destroy it during your opponent's next end phase. We then play another rank 5 in one copy of Valiant Shark Lancer. You can target a monster your opponent controls, detach a material from any XC's monster you control, destroy it. This is a quick effect if you control another XC's monster. Plus, if another XC's monster you control is destroyed while you control this card, you can place any spell in your deck to the top of the deck. And we can't play a water deck without our copy of Abyss Dweller. Abyss Dweller will increase the attack of all your water monsters by 500 once per turn. Quick effect, detach a material and your opponent can't activate cards in the graveyard this turn. And of course, we have a copy of number 4 Stealth Kraken and 1 copy of Stealth Kraken Spawn. Stealth Kraken can turn all monsters on the field into water, and once per turn, quick effect, destroy a water monster your opponent controls and inflict damage equal to half its attack it had on the field. Plus, if it's destroyed, you can special summon Stealth Kraken Spawn from the extra deck. Kraken Spawn, this card can quick effect, destroy a water monster your opponent controls, and if this card is destroyed, you can special summon Stealth Kraken back from the graveyard. These cards create an endless loop for your opponent and can be really frustrating to deal with. And finally, the last card I have in the extra deck is a copy of number 47 Nightmare Shark. Nightmare Shark can attach a level 3 water monster from your hand or field when it is summoned, detach a material, and target a water monster. It can attack directly this turn. Well, that is it for the deck profile. I really hope you enjoyed it. If there's anything you like or don't like, feel free to leave me a comment telling me what you think. Be sure to like the video if you did and subscribe for more content. Thank you for your support and always enjoy the Sacred Cards. See you all in the next one.